All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of The Truth About Addiction and Recovery. I'm Scott Jones, and today I am excited because I've got my friend, my compatriot, my partner in crime, and and a guy who knows a lot about so many things, John Giordano. John, hey, what's going on, buddy?
Going on? Hey, listen, everything is great. I'm so proud to be on this show. It's because, you guys really work hard to help people. And that's the kind of people I like to be around.
I appreciate that, John. And, of course, John's talking about our sponsorship from Addiction Training Center and all the things we do there. And, of course, all of our podcasts are all about recovery and addiction, getting people the information they need so they can get better or help people. That's what it's all about. But, John, you've been doing this. I've been doing this for a while. I've been down in Florida for about 10 years doing this, maybe 11. I've been in recovery for a while, but you've been doing this a lot longer.
35 years.
35 years. Did you ever wake up one day and just say, what the hell am I doing? Life could be easier than working with addicts?
No, this is my life.
You never have one of those moments?
No.
It's tough, though, because for every victory, there's like 7 defeats. And that makes it, I think it makes the victories more important. But unfortunately, it's the reality of, before we even talk about what we're going to talk about as a pandemic, but even without the pandemic, even without the problems we're having, addiction, it wins more times than I wish it did.
Well, Scott, what I look at life is, and what I do my best to tell people is, there are no failures. There are only lessons.
Right.
And I learned from each unfortunate failure or lesson, and to help the next person. We're not God. We're only out there doing our best that we can to help the human condition.
Right.
Being a recovering addict myself, for all these years, people helped me when I really couldn't help myself. Matter of fact, I didn't even think I had a problem. I thought they had the problem. So,
Yeah.
So it's, and that's what this is all about. It's about giving back. You can make a lot of money, you can have all that, but the most important thing for me in life is to have your health. Without your health, you have nothing. Without recovery, all you have is misery. And people have to need to learn that. See, everybody thinks it's work. Doing recovery, go to meetings, you have to face your shame and your guilt and all of this stuff. And actually, in reality, is this how you overcome this?
Right.
We all go through the same process. Nobody's different here. And, and nobody has your answer. You have your own answer. But we do know that there's a pathway to recovery, because I've watched it. I'm a street kid. I don't believe anything anybody says. And that's how I was brought up. So when I got into early recovery, I'm looking at these people like, yeah, this guy's full of baloney, man. He's not doing what he says. And they're looking for a new drug deal at these meetings. And that's all I had. I went in there with all the negativity.
Right.
You know? But I found out that I was wrong. And, and most of the time, us addicts, we don't say we're wrong, And I learned that there is a life worth living. But you have to work at it.
Yes, absolutely. You have to work at it, but the thing is as the rewards come and as you start to live that life, it's no longer work. It becomes just part of who you are and what you do.
That's my point.
Right.
You see, what happens is we're good feel junkies. We like to feel good. So the bottom line, if I'm feeling good, I'm going to gravitate towards that.
Yeah.
And that's just the bottom line. Like what we're going to talk about today in today's show about COVID-19 and how it's affecting regular people, never just us, addicts and alcoholics, but we're getting a 52% uptick on people that are ODing.
Yeah, it's insane. And the problem is, John, is that, that news, it's not sexy anymore. What's sexy is the pandemic and COVID, and I'm not making light of it because I know there's been a lot of loss. Politics and everything else aside, it's a horrible, horrible thing we're facing. But that's the big news right now. The opioid epidemic last year was big news, and now it's on page 6. But it's getting worse. It's not, just because you're not seeing it on the front page doesn't mean it's better. It's getting worse, John.
Well, it's like this undercurrent of our country being destroyed by an epidemic, not the one that everybody's seeing.
Right.
The underlying epidemic, because youth is the foundation of any country. And our youth are being destroyed.
Yeah.
And what's happening, unfortunately, is the government and other people are looking for a magic bullet. There is no magic bullet.
No.
And, it's a accumulation of many causes for what's happening with people that are addicted. It's not just a psychological problem. It's a living problem. It's people don't know how to live a quality life. We eat fast foods. We don't exercise. We isolate.
Right.
It goes on and on and on and on. And if you don't do certain things to maintain health, you can fall prey to addiction very, very easy.
And John, what you're talking about right now is definitely symptomatic of this COVID-19 crisis. Is people aren't eating as healthy, they're not getting as much exercise, they are isolated, they're not taking care of themselves. Yes, we're cloistered and we're trying to hide from the illness of the COVID, but we're actually feeding the addiction part of it because we're not taking care of ourselves. All those things you said are things that are suffering right now. So, am I right?
Of course, we see what happens is this: people become depressed, people have anxiety.
Yeah.
There's multiple reasons why we have this, and there are fixes for it. And what I like to get to is how to fix some of this. And I think most people understand that. Oh yeah, I'm depressed. I lost my job. I don't know what I'm going to do for money. Listen, I was homeless when I first got clean. I'm here to tell you that life will change, but you have to have a different attitude, and you have to be grateful for the life that you do have. And what most people always are looking at what they don't have. And you see, and that's the problem. All right. It's like the guy, you look at a guy that has no shoes, then you meet a guy with no feet. I mean, where, what are you looking at? I
Right.
mean, one of the main things that people need to do to get rid of is stress. Stress causes inflammation in your body. Inflammation causes disease. This is not John Giordano saying this, or Scott. This is factual. Okay? So you need to exercise at least 4 days a week. And you start off slow. Now, by exercising, what happens? Scientifically, I can tell you, medically, I can tell you, it's real simple. You get rid of you lower your stress. Stress depletes dopamine. Okay, dopamine is the feel-good drug that we manufacture naturally in our brain. That's what we chase when we want to get drugs.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So when you deplete your stress, not only do you raise your dopamine, okay, you assist your whole body to become in homeostasis, where it becomes balanced. Then you couple that with eating properly. You don't have to have a lot of money to eat properly, okay? There's things you can do. Vegetables, okay? Oh, I don't like vegetables. You ever see the commercial with the kid who don't like vegetables?
Yeah.
And they put the cheese on the vegetables. But the bottom line is that yeah, we can. And Google is an amazing app. All you got to do is Google what's good for you to eat in a healthy way. If you don't know,
Right.
there's simple steps to take. Isolation is a killer for us, okay? Because the worst place to be is in our own head. Walking down and I know walking down in my head is like walking down in a bad street. Okay, you don't want
I
to
can
stay
see
there.
that. I can see that.
You don't
Yeah.
want to stay there too long.
No.
And most people, attention span is very short. Okay, the things that we're discussing today is you can really help yourself. Don't believe a word I tell you. Just give it a shot. If it doesn't work for you, hey, guess what? Don't do it.
Right.
Simple. All I can tell you is this. I never believed anybody, all right, when I first got clean and sober. And all I can tell you is I'm coming up on 36 years. I have a wonderful life. I mean, if you would have told me that I would have had the life that I have today when I first started this, I probably would have punched you in the face,
Right.
thinking you're trying to make fun of me. We can't imagine the things we can accomplish. One of the things that I did, I just finished this book. It's How to Beat Your Addiction. The kid from the South Bronx, who never gave up. And that's one of the key factors in learning how to live a life worth living. You see, I had a lot of things happen to me in life. Of course, my father died, my mother died, I almost died, my wife almost died, my son almost died. I mean, I can go on and on and on. If you want to feel sorry for yourself, and you're going nowhere real quick, okay? And, you know, when I first got clean, I was homeless. I got divorced. I'm living in a hotel room. I had a bicycle that somebody loaned me.
That wasn't even yours.
It wasn't even my bicycle, okay? And yeah, did I feel down and depressed? Absolutely. What do you know? It's normal. But I didn't stay in it long enough to succumb to it. I said to myself, look, this is where I am, okay? Nothing's permanent. We're not permanent. So if you think your situation is permanent, you're dreaming, okay? Or you can make it permanent, you know, but I don't think that's a good idea. And I wrote this book, you know, to show people I only went to the 9th grade. My family's a mafia-type family. My uncle killed a caterer at my wedding because he's a hitman, and what happened was they insulted him. I mean, the book is coming out in about 60 days. You can get it on Amazon, and, you know, it's not expensive, and most of the time I give these books away anyway. And, you know, the other book I wrote was How to Beat Your Addictions and Live a Quality Life. And the way I did that is real simple. I interviewed 200 addicts and alcoholics. Right. I wanted to know what I consider good recovery. Quitting drugs and alcohol is only the first part of the program, okay? But what you have to realize is that now once you quit, now what do I do with my life? You know, I don't know how to deal with this shame, this guilt, this pain. I don't know what to do with all of this stuff. And that's why we need help, okay? So I interviewed them, and what they did, I put in the book. Then I interviewed the other side, people that chronically relapse.
Right.
People that constantly just get to a certain point and just fall right back. Get to a certain point, then fall right back, and then some of them die. And I put that in the book. So it's what to do and what not to do. And this book is out. You can get it on Amazon. To me, the most powerful thing that us human beings have is to share information with one another to help you to grow, to help you be a better human being. When I first got into recovery, I used to curse God. I blamed everybody. Of course, I didn't take responsibility for John.
Right.
You know, I just blamed everybody else for my dilemma, you know. And when I found out in recovery, the first person I have to look at is John. And what was John's choices? Forget about, oh, that person made me do this. Oh, I was abandoned. That's why I am. I got sexually abused, and that's why I act the way. Look, we have choices. And in the Bible, if you want to be religious, it's called free will. What do you want to do with that? Listen, it takes time to change. It took time to become immoral, shameful, guilty. It just didn't happen overnight. And it's the same thing with recovery. It takes time.
Right.
You know, and the bottom line, we do these shows and I go out there in the community just like Scott and Karen, and giving back, okay, is my high today. It's not about money. In the book, it tells you how I turned $300 into $45 million. I never would have believed this in a million years. And it wasn't just me. I had a team of people that helped me to do this. We opened up a treatment center, and that's how Scott and I met.
Right.
And we became well known all over the world. Because we did alternative medicine. We did a comprehensive approach to addiction. It's not just a psychological problem. It's a comprehensive problem. And the bottom line is you have to look at the whole person. You can't just look at one little segment of that person.
Right.
And that's the problem with treatment centers today, is because they do the best they can. Problem is insurance companies don't pay for a lot of the things that you can do that can help you.
Right. They do. They focus on one area or one piece. They want that fulfilled, but they won't go above and beyond that. So what happens is that, you know, it's like having a large wound and only putting a Band-Aid over a little piece of that large wound. You still got a problem.
And treatment centers, it's too short of a period of time.
It really is.
I've been doing drugs for 20 years, and I'm all of a sudden I'm a 30-day wonder. Give me a break. That's not happening. Okay, takes time. They have the program. Give time. I used to hate those sayings.
Time. Yeah.
Right. Oh, give me a break already with all these sayings and all these people, and I wouldn't even get high with these people. I used to say. I mean, But what you realize is that the things you run away from usually is the things you need to run to, not away from. And that's why we do these shows. Maybe you'll listen for a little while, and maybe you'll just say, yeah, it's nice, yeah, but they don't understand the pain I'm in, or they don't come from where I come from. Baloney. Okay, that's another way of escaping again from information because, it's too much work. Well, how hard is it from when you're using? Where am I going to get it? I got to get the money. I got to manipulate. I got to do all these things. Oh my God. What lie did I tell this one? Oh, look at my life. All my past opportunities. Yeah, you chose that, just like I did. There's no shortcuts to this. It's like anything else. I'm also a grandmaster in the martial arts and a karate champion and all that stuff. I had to work hard to get there. See, you could be good at something or you could be great. Where do you want to be? And that's what you have to look at. You want to be good at life or you want to be great at life? And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about that soul, that inner spirit, that a God of your understanding created, not what we created. And it takes time. And, to me, spirituality is helping someone less fortunate than you. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. Do your best you can. No, you're not going to be perfect. If you're perfect, let me know. I'll pray to you. The only perfect person I know is God. And I don't even know God. So I do the best I can with that.
Well, John, this conversation right now is a whole lot different. I mean, we have to acknowledge, for everybody listening and watching, we certainly acknowledge that this is a different time. And let's say that somebody, somehow, during this pandemic, during this national crisis with COVID-19, somehow they find a way to find recovery. They get into treatment. They do something. And then they come out. It's a different world than when you did it or I did it or even somebody a year ago did it, where you can go to meetings and you get those hugs and you get that support. You're going home and they're saying, you can't go here, you can't go there, you can't hug anybody. And
somebody hugs you, it could kill you.
It's
I mean,
it's tough. It's tough. I mean, the idea that you have to motivate yourself applies now more than ever before. You have to work it. You can't just sit back and hope it'll be. Back in the day, I mean, it was easy just to go to a meeting, kind of sit back and let it kind of slowly absorb, where people come to you. That's not happening now. You've got to make the effort when you go home after treatment, don't you?
Well, here's the story. I have to disagree a little bit. It wasn't easy for me to go to meetings. I hated meetings. To me, when I went to a meeting, I just wanted to use, Because that was my mindset. I could be there anywhere,
right,
just because I want to use anyway, But the bottom line is that you got to take it a step at a time. If you're in the right direction, okay, you'll have a life worth living. But if you go in the wrong direction, which is the direction that we all went in to destroy our lives because we're running away from. It's like a dog running away from its tail. All my feelings, listen, I was molested when I was a kid. My father went to jail when I was a kid. My father was a Shylock. He was a heroin dealer. So if you think your family is really bad, I'll loan you mine for a while. Let me know how you do. I make it real simple. We always think that we have the worst of the worst of the worst. Well, yeah, that's not true. Okay? We all have our stuff to overcome. What these programs that we do here is to give you some insight in what to do, how to do it, okay? You can go to my website, holisticaddictioninfo.com, and maybe you might learn a few things, hopefully, like I did. They always say that the teacher will appear when the student is ready.
Right.
And that's so true. You know, you still can use your street sense, but just do your best to believe a little bit at a time, see where it takes you, and then just go a little bit. Listen, I don't know about you, but I didn't start crazy drugs and stuff like that in the beginning. I did a little at a time, and I worked my way up. Even though I knew it was wrong, even though I knew, you know, all the disciplines I had with the martial arts, I ignored everything that I learned. And I went on this journey to hell.
And it's, yeah, I mean, that's all good stuff. You've got a great story. I know that that there's ways to contact you if people want to talk to you about this.
Yes.
Through your website. Is that the easiest way to do it?
Right, my website.
So holisticaddictioninfo.com. The information's right there on the screen, so you guys can go directly to the site, send John an email, reach out. You're always willing to talk to somebody.
Actually, if you get the book, my phone number's on it.
You put your phone number on the book?
Yeah. People say, "Are you crazy? You're going to have all these people calling you?" I said, "Well, why do you think I put my phone number there?"
Wow. I don't even give my phone number to my kids.
Listen, I almost died. Okay?
Yeah,
My kid almost died from this disease. You know, and if I can help somebody, look, if you give me a baloney call, I'm just going to say, "Listen, thanks a lot, adios." You know, I mean, if you want help, here I am. But you got to do the work. All I'm going to do is say, "Look, go left, go right, go straight." And, you know, I'm going to give you information that I learned. I've helped thousands of people over the years. You know, the ones that listened got help. The ones that didn't listen didn't. It's real simple stuff. You know, so if you're feeling bad for yourself, you're locked up in your house, and you don't know what to do, exercise. Do the best to eat as best you can. Write down your emotions. See where you're at. See how to make a plan, how to get out of this darn thing that we're all stuck in, you know? And keep moving forward. It's hard to hit a moving target. So
Yeah.
don't sit still.
Use the internet, appropriately, obviously. But there's plenty of exercise programs for people. Not everybody has a home gym. Not everybody's motivated to go out and run 10 miles. No, there's some simple exercises.
Yeah,
I've
you
seen
don't
these
even need a
videos that
gym.
are fantastic. It's almost like having a personal trainer in your house when you're using some of these programs. Go ahead and use them. Try them. There's 1,000 different things to do. You mentioned yoga and stuff like that.
You could do yoga. You put on some of these stations where the guys are doing different exercises with you. You need to exercise your brain, to oxygenate your brain, to get rid of the stress, to lower your inflammation. Okay, and you'll feel better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of sitting on the couch eating potato chips and doing the clicker with the television and absorbing all the negative energy that's coming through our TV sets. It's not a good idea.
And everybody understands that concept of when you're feeling bad, you lay down, you start stuffing junk in your face, laying and watching TV, and at the end of the day, you actually feel worse, not better.
Oh, no, you sit there and you go, "Oh, look how fat I'm getting."
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I can't believe I'm getting fat. Oh, stop stuffing your face and you won't get so fat. You know, look, I'm 74 years old. I don't take any medications. I work out, 5-6 days a week. I go to meetings on Zoom. I don't like it as much as the regular meetings, but it's better than nothing. My wife's in recovery, so 2 people in recovery, we have a meeting every day. And, you know, and the bottom line is you just make the best of what you have. Things change. Nothing stays the same.
Yeah.
We don't stay the same, okay? And neither does the world. So get out there and be part of the change. And stop sitting on your butt crying about what you don't have, and start looking at what you do have.
If you need help, reach out for help. If you're concerned and you don't even know if you need help, reach out. Talk to somebody, because being in isolation, whether you got a problem or not, being in isolation, you're going to create a problem. Reach out to people. Make sure you exercise, eat right, reach out, take care of yourself. You know, your good mental health is going to be all the difference in how you survive this pandemic. And of course, you got great resources like John and everything else. Please take advantage of that. That's what the truth about addiction and recovery is all about. Is about getting information to you, and the information is that you can be okay during this. You just got to take responsibility for yourself and do it. If you're going to sit around feeling sorry for yourself, it's not going to help.
We're all in the same boat. Okay, those are not in the boat are dying, and getting COVID-19. Those who don't want to wear a mask, those who don't want to wash their hands. Look, I look at it this way. People say, well, everybody has mixed messages. I tell you what, I do something really simple. I'll do it. I'll put the mask on, whether I believe it or not. I'll wash my hands. I don't stay in crowds. If I'm right, I'm saving my life. If I don't pay attention and I'm wrong and I go into the crowds, don't wear a mask, I could possibly either die or get my loved one sick.
Yeah.
So don't be a moron, okay? Just follow directions, not yours. And whether you believe it or not is not the issue. You got to use a little common sense, okay? And that's what goes out with this politics and all the baloney. Forget about all that garbage.
Yeah.
Okay? Take care of yourself, and this way you take care of the ones you love.
Yeah, and before we end, I want to make a point on that because we've been talking a lot about what you could do for yourself. Let's talk real quickly. We have got families that are concerned about people who have an addiction problem, who are isolated because of this, or family members who are concerned about people in early recovery. Keep an eye on people. Make sure you're staying in communication. I mean, obviously, if you had somebody elderly that was in your care and it's during this lockdown period, you're going to be calling them. You're going to be checking on them. Well, the same thing applies for people with addiction problems, right, John? You've got to watch out for your family.
We need social interaction.
Yes.
We're isolators, okay? We keep all our garbage inside our body here, and we don't talk. That's why I say write things down. Get these emotions out. Call people, okay? Let them know what's going on. Stop hiding. All right, no one's perfect, believe me. I know I'm not. I told you, when you find somebody perfect, let me know. I want to pray to them.
Moms, dads, if you're assuming there's somebody might have a problem, don't think that it can wait until after the crisis is over. Deal with it now. Make sure you reach out, get some help, and let's not let any lives be lost needlessly because of this situation. John, it's been a pleasure, man. Let's remind people they can look for your books on Amazon, right?
Yep. How to Beat Your Addiction and Live a Quality Life. Check it out. It's not expensive. It's on Amazon. This book, The Kid from the South Bronx Who Never Gave Up, gives you a roadmap to success, okay, that I found that works for not only me, for most people. Knowledge is power, but action is where it's at. You can know all about recovery, know everything about how to make money, but if you don't put it into action, it doesn't happen. So this will be out in a couple of months.
Yeah, so take a look for that. You could always, you can go to Amazon, look for books by John Giordano. You could do it that way if you want, and it'll show you what's available. If the one book isn't available, just wait a little bit, go back. It will be there shortly. We look forward to that. And, of course, check out his website at holisticaddictioninfo.com. John, once again, thanks a lot, pal.
Thanks, Scott. I love you, man.
Love you too, brother. And I want to remind everybody that you're watching the ATC Network right here on YouTube. Make sure that you like this show and subscribe to our channel. We'll catch you next time on The Truth About Addiction and Recovery. Yeah, tell friends. Please. Please. John will pay for no, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Share it with people because you could be helping somebody more than you could possibly know.
Thank you.